Morning, Mark Remillard.
Good morning.
Bad news on the math front. What's going on?
A new study is out. This is just a snapshot, but it does show the 2015 Program for International Student Assessment, which takes a look, tests more than 500,000 students across about 70 countries to figure out how countries are ranking in math, reading, and science. Well, bad news on the math front for the United States, showing that we're now in the bottom half of the list of countries, with 470 points out of 1,000. Singapore coming in first with 564, so almost a 100-point difference when it comes to this testing, and so that's also the second time in a row that the U.S. has dropped. They administer this test every 3 years, so this is the second time in a row that the U.S. has continued to decline in math.
Is this a situation where we have some of the best and the brightest, but overall we're low, or is this everyone's bad and we're headed in the wrong direction?
Well, we do have, what is interesting is that while we have a small portion of students hitting the most advanced level, these high-performing students, the U.S. is still producing 300,000 of those 15-year-olds every year, because this tests 15-year-old students, so that'd be 10th grade. And so we're still at 300,000 kids in this country that are each year coming up and performing very well. But overall, when you take the average of the students across our country, then that's where it's showing that our skills are declining.
Anybody saying anything? Any leaders calling attention to this study?
Not that I've seen so far. It's hitting the news cycle, so we'll see whether or not there's some response to it. But when it comes to why we might be seeing numbers like this, it's probably a multitude of things. Andreas Schlichter is a guy who heads up a department that helped administer and helps coordinate this test. He says that it's because of the way the U.S. does our math education, that we focus on a broad array of topics, but we really don't get that deep into them, whereas better performing countries like Singapore and China really focus on fewer topics, but the students really master them, and so conceptually they're much better off. And so he says that's a problem. Funding could be an issue as well, and the fact that there are still 31 states in the country that spend less per student than they did before the 2008 recession, so that could be part of it. It's likely a number of different factors. Common Core is just coming into play, so it's not really clear whether or not that's having an improvement or not. We'll have to see. That'll take time for that to occur, but as you mentioned, the politics, Donald Trump has vowed to get rid of Common Core. So we'll see whether or not that occurs. I guess time will tell.
Yeah, Mark Remillard, ABC News correspondent. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you.
7:23 here, Big 5.